All right, so let's go back to what we were talking about. So it's April. It's all in April, right? There's a lot of different ways that April can end, right? It's the beginning of April, but there's a lot of ways it can end. Either one, I can just continue the way that I'm going and be comfortable, right? And like be predictable and know exactly what's gonna happen. Like, okay, I have X amount of money to do this, and I have X amount of money to do this, and I only can do this X amount of times per day. Or I can change my behavior and I can then exit to wherever I wanted to go if I rewire the way that I'm orchestrating the stuff that I'm doing, right? Like, because right now I feel like it's cool and it's April, but low key I'm already thinking about it being like November. Like, okay, this year is going kind of quick. Like, it's April. It's already April. And I'm really understanding that, like, if we really want to put the trajectory on these goals to where we want to push them to, we're going to really need to put in a different level of work. And that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to work so much harder and so much. Like, we do need to work harder. Don't get it twisted. Like, we need to work harder, smarter, and all that. But I think the funnel and the focus just needs to change. I just really think it needs to change, because there's no way in the world that I can have these expectations of making multi-millions and millions of dollars with the effort and energy that I'm putting in right now to what I'm putting it into right now. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's not me trying to negate the fact that I'm not working hard. That doesn't mean that I'm not working hard. But if I'm working hard in something that has a cap on it, then I'm only going to get but so much of a result. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm at the point now to where I'm thinking about this just logistically. Like, to go all in April, we got to go all in on something that makes sense, right? Like, to go all in, we have to go all in on something that's going to give all back, right? I can't keep putting in this energy and effort into something that's not paying me back. And that's not just in a financial standpoint, and it's in an energy standpoint, like it's in an all standpoint. It just needs to be
balanced.
Exactly. And we're at the point now to where we're 4 months in. I feel great about how the year's going. But I'm just looking at my life right now. Like, now imagine if I were to take it to the next level. Like, yeah, the year's going great. And even if I continue to go the way that I'm going right now, this would be one of the best years of my life, right? But it could be even better. And I'm not going to settle for something that I know I can make better. And especially if we're going to quote this as all in April, then I challenge us to genuinely go all in. So whatever we do settle on going all in, going into this mind map, right? We really need to make sure that we put all our energy and focus into something that's going to give it all back. And we need to also question ourselves into what does that look like into something paying us back. Because I feel like that's another problem. I feel like if you don't look at a situation of what are the results you're actually looking for, like we always try to talk about a thing like, oh, I want X thing, like $1 million. I want $1 million. But then it's like, okay, but what do you want to do with the $1 million? What does it look like waking up with $1 million in your bank account? You don't have the same habits that you do if you don't have that, you know? So it's like, even with this all in stuff, it's like, if we're going to put in all our energy, 6 hours a day, putting it into something, what does the other stuff look like because of that, right? Like, how does the rest of your life look when you do that? And I think that, to me, we just got to really figure that out. And not dwell on it, but we have to figure it out, because at the end of the day, we're going to have to go all in on something, and we're going to have to go now, right? Because we don't have time to wait. But I just want to make sure that we are not irrational about this, and we really just stand on something that we genuinely want to do. That's why I broke this down in a whole bunch of different sections, because we're about to scale out which things are most important And then we're going to start scaling out which things are least important and what needs to get more energy, what needs to get more time, what needs to get financial backing, what needs to not, like you got to be able to separate these things. And there's so many different things that are going on in a day. So that's why in 30 days, that's why it feels like time is moving so fast, because so much stuff is happening at one time. So you got to be able to capitalize on time. So let's go all in. Let's work. Let's do what we do. Let's get active.